requisites, replete with all of our cultural mores. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Let me explain something, okay? The government fairly recently moved to ban the breeding and owning of XL bullies. Now, why did they do this? Well, they did this because those are dangerous dogs. Those dogs have been brought up to maim, to kill, to attack. They didn't set out a little leaflet of how you then take your XL bully to a special puppy school and turn it into, I don't know, a seeing eye dog for the blind. No, they decided that XL bullies were fundamentally beyond salvation and posed a danger to society. If you are someone with a license to have one of those dogs, if you walk it around in the park without a muzzle, it's a criminal offence. Now let's look at these men coming from countries like Afghanistan, Syria, the Maghreb, Middle East, predominantly very Muslim countries. They've been brought up from a young age to believe that women should be shamed, possibly stoned, if they don't even cover their hair. They've been brought up to regard non-Muslim women as people that they can take as slaves. They have been brought up from a very, very young age to think that flashing a knee is essentially the equivalent of being a prostitute. They have been brought up from a very young age to believe that the West is evil. And so why, if they have been inculcated and brainwashed from birth in a culture, or perhaps a cult, which has those attitudes, are they not considered dangerous? They don't have to be on a leash as they walk around the parks. No, they sit on park benches doing what the hell they want. They go outside school gates doing what the hell they want. And this government, this blimmin' government, has made this utterly jaw-dropping document, saying to these new illegal arrivals, please don't rape women. We know you want to, which is why we've had to make this document, so please don't. You might have a few difficulties with your asylum application if you go on a rape-a-thon. I mean, they know that these men are dangerous. Do they think that they're going to sit and read this and go, do you know what? I never realised I've seen the light. I respect women so much, I cannot wait to go and tell the world, especially all my brethren back at home, how actually Western girls are a delight. They should be treated like little princesses. I'll never look at one the wrong way again. Do they live in cloud cuckoo land? No, but they think we do. Because they think that as well as pretending that this is normal behaviour, that these men pose no risk, that the best thing they can do is spread the wealth, share them out around the country. No, don't you put them in the areas where they might sort of semi-integrate with people of their kith and kin. Why don't we put them into HMOs in the heart of rural villages where no one will have eyes on about what they're up to, where they're hardly going to be entertained joining the local harvest this October, are they? No, what are they going to do sitting around all day with their deeply misogynistic attitudes? I wonder what they will get up to. And on top of that, to add insult to injury, the government at the moment is spending your money and my money actively using the courts to try and prevent the publication of data about crimes committed by nationality, specifically sex crimes by nationality. Why are they doing that? Well, we can't handle that information. We know what it is already. We know that there is a grotesque overrepresentation of Afghanistans and Eritreans and Sudanese and Somalis among those who have gone out and violently abused, attacked and raped women. 2 stories in the newspaper today. 2 separate groups of Afghan males. One raped a young girl on a train to Kent. The other held a knife to the throat of the boyfriend, or the first date actually, of a girl that they raped in the middle of a park. Oh, don't you worry about that. Nothing to see here. These men aren't dangerous. No. All they need is a leaflet. And anybody who says otherwise is still a far-right racist. But not only that, it gets better. Because the Equalities Minister, the one who might have something to say about this, about, perceived dangers to girls, the safety of women in the United Kingdom, that's kind of her remit. No, she's done it again, hasn't she, Bridget Phillipson? Because she said, don't you mind this. No. They're poor little asylum seekers. They don't know coochie coo. We've got to give them everything they want, poor little lambs. No, the problem are the white men. Oh, it's the young boys today filling the classroom with extreme misogyny. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I'm not saying there isn't a manosphere. I'm not saying that there aren't coarser and coarser attitudes being disseminated via the internet against women. I know that that's true. I know. Well, do something about it rather than just talk about it. But mainly, this, my friend, is actually causing a crime spree. This is causing a list of victims to grow exponentially. Because you, everyone in government, you, everyone in Whitehall, you in the NGOs, you immigration lawyers, you or your leftist virtue signalling venal, horrible zombies, you would rather carry on the pretense, wouldn't you? That all these asylum seekers are the victims, and that anybody who points out the trends that are happening around the country that we're reading in the newspapers day in, day out are deranged, are evil, are deluded, are dangerous and divisive. You are so wedded to telling us this lie, to gaslighting us, to hold on to your nasty little jobs where you can perpetuate this cycle of doom against young women and girls. You are so obsessed with being proven right, with your own sense of self-worth, your own addiction to virtue signalling, that you will happily continue to see little girls up and down the country being molested, harassed, attacked, and violently raped by men who have come to this country with the express desire to do just that. As long as your salary and your cozy little job and your position on your throne of bones on the top of the blimmin' mountain of stinking lies is preserved, it doesn't matter if every last woman in this country feels unsafe in her neighbourhood. No. Keep spreading the asylum seekers as far and wide as possible until every last village, every last suburb, every last train journey, every last bus, every last school gate is like running the gauntlet. You disgusting, horrible, wicked human beings. Because when a society fails to protect its own women and girls and can see, has the empirical evidence of what is going on, and decides instead to lambast, demonize, ostracize, and try and force out of public life anybody who's calling out that fact in order to safeguard and protect women and girls, when you're picking your own synthetic virtue and social standing over and above our sisters, mothers, wives, daughters, you, my friend, are wicked. You're wicked. I hope you can't sleep at night. Right. Well, it's a story I've been banging on about for quite some time now. As that Philip Kissely one now is a senior fellow of the New Culture Forum, because Philip, it wasn't that long ago. Actually, it was quite a long time ago. I started filming in 2024 a documentary for the New Culture Forum on exactly this. And somehow it's taken this, all the rest of the, lily-livered weaklings sitting in their legacy media studios. Oh, no, there's nothing to see here. Oh, you can't say that, that's unkind. All of a sudden, they got the empirical evidence of what we were saying all along is true, because the government's had to make a blimmin' brochure telling these illegal invaders not to rape people.
It's unbelievable. As you say, we were saying this on this channel, but we were also saying it on New Culture Forum in your amazing documentary years ago, literally years ago. I mean, with this government, it's almost as if they've learned absolutely nothing from the decades-long Pakistani rape gang scandal, And was it yesterday or this morning? Things are moving so quickly. I was reading through this stuff, these government guidelines. And this is one of the government guidelines. We're in 2026. It's the UK. And this is one of the guidelines, Alec. Never try to have sex with someone who is asleep. That is a government guideline that was issued on Wednesday. That is the situation we're in. The document says, we know it's difficult when you move to another country. wow, what they're really saying is, we know it's difficult not to rape people when you move to another country, but if you're going down the shop for a bottle of milk and you see a woman, it's probably best not to rape her. We understand it's difficult, but it's probably best not to rape her. If you're walking past a school, it's best not to abduct a child. It's best not to abduct a child. You know, don't do that, because we don't do that in this country. It's frowned upon. We understand that you might want to do that, but don't do it. It's the tone of this as much as the jaw-dropping content. I've never known anything like it. It really does signal that we are moving backwards at an astounding rate, actually more than backwards. We're moving to a different society because we have never been like this. We have never very explicitly made excuses for the most appalling kind of sexual violence. It has never been the norm ever in this country, and yet here we are with Andy Burnham saying, "Oh yes, well it's right and proper. We should issue these guidelines." No, Andy, it's wrong. It's right and proper. These people should never be in our country in the first place.
It gets worse, right? It actually gets worse. I'm looking through some of this. I mean, this is an egregious little bit of copy here. It says rape is a serious crime. You could go to prison. You could lose your support and accommodation. Could? How about rape is a serious crime in the UK? If you do that, you will be deported immediately.
Or how about rape is a serious crime in the UK because it devastates lives. It ruins children. People die because of it. They commit suicide. The whole content of this is, look, we know you're appalling, but what we're going to do is appeal to your greed and self-preservation. Don't care about the people who you're abusing. We just care about you. We just care about our ideology. And we want to keep the whole house of cards on. Because if we admit for 1 second that we've got this wrong for years and years and years, the whole edifice will come down and we will find ourselves being prosecuted and thrown in prison for the dangerous criminals that we are.
I'm going to have to do some clips, some politicians in a minute. But before I do that, there's another line. You must treat others with respect, even if you disagree with their beliefs or how they live. Now, how about if you disagree with the way British people live in Britain, go away. Don't come here. You are not welcome. You don't get to come to our country and disagree with the way that we live as the natives in our own country. Go home to your flea-ridden sandpit hellhole and never ever darken our doorstep again. Oh, let's have a listen now to some shining lights from our government, shall we? Here's our emoji Prime Minister.
As a government, we have a very clear principle. If you break UK law, you will be removed from the country, and we have seen that in relation to immigration, where removals are significantly up. I'm currently working to ensure that foreign national offenders who can be removed from the prison system are removed from that system. So it follows that if we're taking this approach, people are made it's made explicitly clear what the UK law is and what the societal norms of the UK are, and that's why this approach is being taken.
It's like reading the riot act to metastasising cancer. Just stop it spreading. Before I bring you back in, Philip, because I haven't had enough of, Labour bigwigs proselytising from their sanctimonious blimmin' thrones, let's have a listen to Queen Sanctimony on High, Jess Phillips.
I understand that it's interesting because it's to asylum seekers. We also ran an enormous Enough campaign teaching men in the country about how their behaviours could be perceived, whether that's stalking behaviours, harassment behaviours, harassment in public. That was to everybody in the country. We also have started a process of ensuring that boys and girls in schools undertake education around the expectations of happy, healthy relationships and actually the dangers of a lack of consent, for example. So this is just one example of a preventative measure. I understand people are interested because it's asylum seekers.
I understand people are
Extraordinary.
interested because it's asylum seekers. Do you know what this is like? It's like, well, you know, nothing to see here with the XL bullies because all dogs bite. All dog breeds have a little nip every now and then. I mean, a collie could just as well go and bite your ankle as an XL bully. No. If we're able to look at dangerous dogs and go, that specific type of dog poses a threat, that's large, so we don't want it here, why can't we look at certain cultures and certain men from those cultures with all the empirical data we clearly have in order to produce a booklet like this? Why do we have to make it, well, you know, white people rape as well? Oh, we've also had to go around and tell men in Britain not to, you know, fondle little girls and take naked photographs of people without their consent and try and attack them on the tube. It's just so egregiously wicked. It is gaslighting to a level now that is just horrifying.
Well, I think